All right, today is August 13th, 2024, post market review. So, at the beginning of the market, I noticed that we had a nice little level here that price bounced off of um, during the right before the 8:30 news. 8:30 news, I believe, is this candle. And price pushed up and towards my supply zone at the open. Yeah, so it's around 6 o'clock. Bounced off of it and pushed up. We had somewhat a bit of a channel here sideways, but it was good enough for a potential entry and for a push up that kind of stayed above. And then at 8, 9:30 so, Eastern Standard Time, we had a strong push into our my supply zone. So I was looking for longs until we turned bearish. We never really truly got a bearish um, volume on the 30 minute. This candle here was pretty damn strong, and it looked like we were about to get bearish, but we just couldn't. So I didn't enter the trade. I was looking at here where we hit the both of where we hit the ADR levels on both ES and NQ, and we had a nice push down. But I didn't enter the trade. We had kind of a channel here on the 1 minute. Nothing truly clear on the 5 minute. It was a potential to make about maybe 10 to 15 points, but I didn't take the trade. No volume came in around that time, so I wasn't interested on anything. But I should have kept my eyes open for long. So here's the thing that happened. So we had this push down, and then price died out. Price died out here, volume died out, and then we had this volume, right, spike, right at the 10:30 mark. We had a volume spike. And I said, dang, I should enter this trade right here. Probably put a stop loss right down at the bottom. Didn't notice that was at VWAP. Didn't notice that word. I just noticed the volume that came in at the time, and price pushed up, and everything looked good. So I wanted to enter here, but I didn't because I didn't get a bearish channel or bearish trend on the 5 minute. And I said, well, I've been telling myself I just need to wait for the bearish 5 minute because the 1 minute has been burning me as of late. But this volume now came in, looked good, and we're on constant buying volume right here, right? So I didn't take the trade. Price moved like 20 something points, 20 plus points straight up. This would have been great trade on should have been a good trade on maybe one ES contract. 'Cause I think I would have been risking about 4 points. This is it here. So from entering around here, stop loss right here. So about 5 points. So yeah, one ES contract still would have been good. Risking about 300 points, we would say here, like that. Right? Boom. Okay. And then there we go. And then price just moved up into my level here. It's probably what I would have gotten out. So about 15 points on one ES contract. That's about, I think, 750. I could be wrong, but that would have been my gold up here. Because look how we flattened out right here, right? So I would then just tell me that would have went higher. 15 times 50, yeah, 750. So that would have been a nice trade on just one ES contract. And then price just continued to rise. We never had any strong volume for a rejection. Um, this also would have been a good sign to exit because we had a strong volume here. So hitting that would have been a nice exit point. If I had other contracts, maybe put a stop loss right underneath that volume. All right, price leveled out here, and then continued even higher where I spotted a potential trade after I came back, I kind of left. I got exhausted. We're going into noon. I left here around 11:45. I said I tried to come back around 12:15, 12:30, but I ended up coming back at 12:45 Eastern Standard Time. Um, cause I just didn't make it back on time. Let me erase this. So as you can see, we pushed up, came down, and then around 12:30, price had a nice move. By the time I came back, I was around here, and price was already up. And price gave a nice channel. Let's go into the 5 minute first. So I can go over that. So the 5 minute had exactly what I needed. We broke above. We pulled back. We had a channel. This is all I've been waiting for today. This is all I was waiting for today. We had a channel. We broke out of it. Boom. Risking about, I think this was about 4 points. Yeah, that one was the 4.1. Could have went 1 or 2 ES contracts. Boom. Broke. And then boom, right? Eventually we had a nice dump, but what would I have stopped out at? Probably at the gap fill here, and then just track it until I got stopped out. Maybe even exiting once we have some strong volume here, and then just tracking it, right? Even if I got stopped out here, that would have been fine at this point here. So let's say this is from, so this is about 11 points, which is cool on 1 or 2 ES contracts. 2 ES contracts, that's a grand, $100. 1 ES contract probably 550, which is still good, right? So 2 ES contracts, just let it go, and then get out here would have been nice. Probably, I may have tightened it after I seen that we had a chop. Probably would have gotten out right around here, right? Until we got above because we were struggling so much. So maybe this one would have stopped me out. Still about 11 points. So let's say 12.5 points. That's good. Still good, right? Big difference. So I saw this. It was too late. Price moved up. Then we had a nice drop. I was hoping we'd get a nice bounce. I was here for this one. Strong volume came in over 15K. And I said, wow, I want to enter it right here at this candle. But I didn't have no channel, no nothing. And price did not come exactly to the tick to my level that I wanted it to. So I never entered this trade. As price moved back up, this was about a 6-point trade. So 1 ES contract. It did feel like it would have been a bit of a gamble. But nonetheless, price had a nice move. We never came back down to my entry point. So price would have went up, came down. Probably could have stopped, put my stop loss here. Once we reached my 2-to-1, I probably could have moved my stop loss right around here or here. What is that? 9 points. I would have been good with waiting there. And then as we move up, probably would have had it here, hoping that we move higher, and would have been out at about 12 points. We did eventually move a little higher towards the end of the day. We moved either from here about 22 points. So 12 points, moved an extra like 10 points, so that would have been good. I don't know if I would have seen that because we had this nice drop, but even so, getting out right here would have been great. Any of that. Oh, would not have liked this reversal at all. It probably would have been in this trade good for a good amount of a run. And then that was pretty much it. We did bounce off of this level, When we did get above it, we came back down, had a nice little pullback. So this was a potential, maybe potential trade right here. Uh, this better. This just feels too tight. I like this. That, you know, and then maybe we would have tightened it. I don't like this at all. Okay, that looks better. I can bring this like this. Maybe draw it out like that. Nope, would not have been something I would have entered. This just way too far. Too far from my desired entry, and would have been second guessing it. Even though we did move up, but it still is too far from the desired entry as far as how price would normally move. So this would have been more of a do I enter this trade or do I not kind of thing. So, but those were the potential trades. Um, all were missed. This one here couldn't get it. Didn't make sense. It did make sense on the 1 minute, but I just didn't like the fact that I had to depend on the 1 minute. But I did have volume in the 5 minutes, so that should have been my entry for sure. This one here, I was not at my computer. And then this one here, we never came down to my level, and it happened. So these three trades. The other trade here was the overnight session. We had a nice channel here, is what I was talking about. A nice in the channel. If I go back to the overnight session, what time was that? 7 right here, and adjust that. No, we draw that as a channel here. Strike up, entry right there. All I had to do was just wait. This is about 4 points, and just wait. And then this is right before news. News come out at 8:30. So here you go. So maybe exit, because I mean that's a good 2 to 1 right there, 4 to 1 right here. So if I was in for 2 ES contracts, I would have been good. We're just letting this price go here. Probably taking one of my trades. Probably just taking one off. Because 1 on 20 is about 1,000. Yeah, 1,000 right here, right? It would have been 2,000 on that. So, and if I had just left one contract on and just let it go to the high of the news, if I could, or even up to like here, 26. That's that, right? That would have been good. So, but I wasn't here for this trade. Wasn't here to capitalize on it. Price did his thing without me, and that's fine. I'm not here at 6 a.m. At Eastern Standard Time. I'm at the, so I'm doing my own thing. So that was it. So those were the trades for today. Missed out on 4 potential trades, 2 really good ones. This one here that I missed, and the pre-market one. 2 potential ones. There's high volume here that came in, and then this one here with the volume that came in on the 5 minute. So these 2 here were potentials. These 2 there were definitely that one and the this one over here were definitely my setups. They were about 5 hours apart in 30 minutes. So about 5 hours apart. The next setup came about 3 hours later, 2 hours later, 1 hour later. All right. First time that we had 10K volume. Everything was just barely like scratching the surface. Everything was barely scratching the surface. So That's it for me today. I'm gonna do a little bit back testing, and see what I can get as far as this like continuous spider stuff. This was 9,000. This one was 8,000. You would think that this 9,000 would have been strong, but instead I'm just gonna focus on the 10,000 ones because they have been the strongest ones. All right, be back tomorrow morning.